So today we're going to start with the final project, which is gonna be the last video of this basic Python series. So let's go for it. Okay. We have the code here. Okay, the project is going to be like around 120 lines. I have the project already written, so I'm just gonna copy from here. I'm gonna paste it in the new in the final project.py. Let's try to explain it like by segment. Okay, first I'm gonna copy this one. I'm gonna put it into the final project. Okay, this project is not still real system, it's by invented data, but is gonna cover everything that we have seen from the very first video until the last video. So everything that has been covered into the videos, it will be here. There is a few things that we didn't show in the videos, but we will also see it in here, so everything will make sense at the end. So let's start by this one until the line 30. What is this? This is, we already know, it's a function, by definition of a function, and we have two variables. And then we can say here, if whatever is the parameter, the argument from this parameter in here, right, is equal to none, it will return critical. If elif system type, which is another argument that will pass to the parameter, is equal to battery and the value is less than 20, it will print warning. And the same we'll do with the if temperature less than greater than 40, etc, etc. So you see here you can cover as much as you want with the elif, right? We have the if, then with the elif we give it more data and more data, just because we want more conditions to be done, right? It's completely up to you how many conditions you want to add. And then we have to finish with else. So whatever is, if all these conditions are false, then whatever is left will be printed on the else, right? So far this definition, this function is like covered. We will also, of course, we will come back and we will see what conditions are getting done, what conditions are not getting done, but just to not write the whole code, because if not, I'm gonna be recording here for 3 hours if I have to write all the code all over again. I'm just gonna copy, paste and explain, okay? So we cover here until line 30. Let's keep doing from the line 33. Okay, before we get to the dictionaries, we copy from 33. Okay. Okay. Now it is. Okay, so in here we have another function, exactly the same. We have another name for another function, and we have two parameters. If this parameter is equal to true, return on. Why do we put in here return on? Because it seems like more professional, right? Because if this condition is true, it will be true, but in here we force us to return on, because it's, if this is something is activated or is deactivated, on and off, it's better to read it that way, right? For example, in here, if it's equal to false, return off, something is on or something is off. And if there is no time, that there is no data, then return error, which is no time. And then we have if, we have elif, and elif, we saw this already, that we can put as many conditions as we want in here. And then if none of these conditions are true, then come to else. And else, what it is, we have any value converted already into string, that's why str, remember, this is a reserved word from Python, which convert every integer or float or whatever it is into strings, because you cannot concatenate, you cannot do an operation with addition. Remember that it was a thing from data types on the first video, that we cannot make addition with text and values. So we convert the numbers, the integers, into string, so we can concatenate then text. Okay, we have so far only 2 functions done. So from 44, and then from 47 to 57, we copy this list with dictionaries. Okay. Let's go to see that one. What do we have in here? We saw this on the previous video, and this is a list of dictionaries, right? We have a list called systems, and inside of the system we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dictionaries. Okay, let's go through the dictionaries once now. So we have a key and value, right? Dictionaries are always in pair value, pair like in key and value. So we have the key name and the value reactor code. Key value and the value is 92. The key unit and the value of unit is percentage. Key type reactor. Okay, that's for the first dictionary. We have name, which is battery, value, and the value is 18. Key unit, percentage, key type, battery. We have helmet, name, helmet, camera, and the key value is true. And okay, we got the idea, right? It's a list of dictionaries. I'm not gonna explain them all right now, because later we will see through it each one of them when we will write the function there. Okay, let's keep going. It's line 57. Okay, from 60 to 62 we have some variables which are counters. From 60 to 62. This something is right. We have seen this many times already. Just variable starting with the value of 0, which then they are counters, right? We want to do count. Then here from 65. What do we have in here? Nothing yet. If you see, there is nothing to do with the functions or with the dictionary. This is just like print, just to put some text in the console. As you can see, is strings and some spaces that we saw this also in the previous class. And this is just for arranging, right? Just for a better organization, for a better look at the console. This is just a single space, a single line. Then the same in here, right? We only have strings. There is no program there, we just printing. Okay, then we go for 78. Okay, let's see if we can print everything together from 78. Okay, I think this is not inside. Yeah, okay. What do we have in here? Okay, we have a for loop with 2 different variables, let's say, in here, and we have a for loop with enumerate. So the enumerate is something that we didn't do during in the previous videos. What it does, it basically literally enumerates something. So we have for number and system. In enumerate systems is this one, right? Is the list of dictionaries. But we have here a start equal 1. What it means? It means that we'll start counting as 1. But how this exactly works, because it can be a bit confused right now because we didn't explain this before. So basically, the way that it works is that, you see, it's occupying the second parameter at the moment. Like, let's say, but this is not a function, it's not a parameter, but let's say it's on the second position here. We have the position 1 and the position 2. However, enumerate will always go to the position 1 because that's what it's enumerating, right? So let's say that here we want to enumerate, I think we say there is like 8 in here now, so it's not gonna be the dictionary and then 1, dictionary and 2, dictionary and 3, because it's on the second place. It's not gonna be like this. Okay, this one, the enumerate, will always be in the beginning, and it basically will count the lines like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc, etc. And how it works, that's why we have here for number and system, because system is every time. This 2 is basically every time, because you remember that we said the for loops in a list of dictionaries, the way that it iterate is 1 per dictionary. Okay, so it will iterate in the first dictionary completely, then we'll print whatever you want to print, or whatever you want to do with the for loops, and then when it's done, when all the conditions are done, it will go back and start iterating for the second one. We have seen this before, right? So basically how it works, then that's why we have a number, just to give it sense. Okay, we have the number and then we have the how many times we'll iterate. Both of them is the same, but this one, number, is to give sense to the enumerate, because enumerate we put it here at the second one, but we already said that it will go always to the first position when it is working, when it will iterate. So we have a number because we want to know which number is it, and then we have system, which is referring to systems, right? Like every time you interact this position, do whatever. So then we have name, a variable inside of the function. We have a variable called name. What will be name? Name will be in this moment that you're iterating, in whatever dictionary you're iterating currently, because that's what system and all of them mean, right? System and all of them mean, basically the only thing that it means is in the currently iteration. So the variable name is gonna be in the currently iteration, is gonna store the value of name. So if we go here, or we should keep, let me check. Yeah, okay, we can already explain this before we carry on. Okay, so what will it be? Let me just double check again, because the printing here is just, yes, we need to put also this, and then the last part we can explain it later. But if I want to explain this a bit better, we also need to put this, because the counter are on top. Okay, this is from 99. Okay, I think this print there makes no sense, right? Do we have this print? Yeah, of course. Okay. Still indented? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna explain this again, but first I want to check this. Okay, what do we have in here? We have normal prints. And this 3 is just an empty line. This one is just strings, this one is just another strings, just to range. But then we have real prints in here. What it will print? Just the counters, the variables. These 3 that we have in here: stable count, warning count, and critical count. Right? These are just counters that it will be done after that we will explain this according to the functions. We have just a format print, which is the 3 counters, nothing else, right? Okay, let's go back to this one. So we said we create a variable called name, and the name is gonna store whatever iteration it is at the moment in systems, which system is the list of dictionaries, right? So again, in the variable name, I want you to store it whatever iteration you're doing currently, your current iteration, the value of name. Remember, with key values in dictionary, it never prints the key, it always prints the value. So I want to print the value of the key name. So here in the first one, it will be reactor core, no problem. So reactor core will be saved in name, and then we have value, which is gonna be in the current iteration give me the value of value, and the value of value in the first one is 92. So far we have reactor core and 92 saved in here, storage in those variables. In unit I want to save the currently iteration, the value of unit. The value of unit is the percentage, just like that. And then in system type I want to store it the value of type, and the value of type is reactor. So all those variables, just in the very first dictionary, it will store reactor core, 92, percentage, and reactor, right? And then let's carry on, because this is inside of the for loop, so it means, okay, yeah, everything until here is done, but it's not gonna go up yet and iterate into the second one, because in order for that to happen, all the conditions has to be done, because inside of this function all the conditions are going to be done before it iterates to the second one, right? So now let's say no, sorry, yeah, it's gonna do this for all the dictionaries, yeah, and then all the dictionaries will be saved whatever it is the value, and then it will proceed, because it need to proceed with the functions. Let me just double check here. No, it can do that, yeah, it can do that. So we got the first dictionary, and then it keeps doing the first dictionary until all the conditions are done. And after all the conditions are done, or one condition is completely done, for example in here, it will be, I will say that this will be the very end of it. Like for example, it's a if status is equal to stable, and if this condition is done, it will do this, and that's it. If this condition is not done, then it will jump to the elif and jump to the elif and go on. But in this case, I think this is the very end, and if one of these conditions is done, then it will already go to the second dictionary and iterate the second dictionary, right? Okay. So we got the data already. We said we already got in these values, in these variables, we got the reactor core, the 92, the percentage, and the reactor, which are the value of these keys that they were iterating the current iteration, right? Now what it will do, it will store it in a status, this function, check system. If we go up to check system, is here, the first function. And in the first function, we have two parameters. So in order for this to be done, we have to assign two arguments. What did we did in here? We have two arguments, which is system type and value. And system type and value are this one, system type and value. What do we store in system type? In system type, we already know that in the current iteration, give me the value of type. So the value of type is reactor. Okay, so we have in the first dictionary, for this function, we have reactor, and let's see the value. The value is, in the current iteration, give me the value of value, in this case, of the key value, and the key value is 92. Okay, so we have reactor, right, and 92 for the first function. Okay, we go back to the status, which is reactor and 92. Go to the first function and see what they will do. If value is equal to known, value was 92, so this is false, it's not gonna do, it's gonna jump to the elif. If system type is equal to battery, our system type currently it was reactor, remember? So this condition is also not gonna be done. Elif system type equal to temperature, no, it was reactor. Elif system type equal to camera, it was reactor, it's not gonna enter. Elif system type to microphone, elif system type to reactor. Hey, so far so good. And value less than 60. In this case, our value was 92. 92 is no less than 60. So one condition is done, but the second condition is not done. So according to the booleans, then this is false. so it's not gonna get done. It's gonna jump to the next one because both condition has to be true in order for the condition to be true. So it jumped to this one. Armor is not, because we have reactor, so none of them is actually gonna be done. So what else will do? Go to the else, then it will just print stable, it will just return stable. So for the first function, the first dictionary is gonna return stable in here. Okay, so we have the first one. The status is gonna be stable. We already know that because by discarding all of them, stable was the only one that could just get the condition done. But we have another function in here which is also gonna iterate. It's going to iterate with the dictionary that we're currently iterating, and in this one is value and unit. Okay, so we have value and unit. What is value? Value is the value of value, which is 92, yeah. And then we have unit. Unit is this variable. Unit was the current iteration, give me the value of unit. Go back to the first dictionary, unit here, percentage. Okay, so we have 92 and percentage. That's gonna be the two arguments for these two parameters, 92 and percentage. Let's go to this function, display value. What is display value here? Okay, if value is equal to true, our value was equal to 92, so it's not true, so this one is not gonna be done. It's not gonna be done. So it's a elif value is equal to false. No, our value is 92, then this is not gonna be done. And then jump to the next elif and say value equal to none. 92 is not none, 92 is 92, so this also is not gonna be done. Then again, because none of these conditions are true, it will just come to the else and do whatever the else say, and they'll say return the string value plus the unit. So whatever is in value, what is in value in this case? 92, right? We say. So this is not gonna be an integer. This is already going to be a string because we have it here, string. Converting to string this value 92. So now 92 is a text, so we can concatenate text plus text, right? This is the concatenation, just the addition of text, and the unit is percentage. Okay, so the text 92 plus the text percentage is gonna be 92 percentage. So this is what is going to return this function. Okay, and then we already have the definitions and the results of these two functions for the first dictionary, and now it keeps going. If status is equal to stable, and it say, hey, hold on, we remember here that it was stable, right? Because it was reactor, but 92 is not less than 60, so none of the conditions were true. If you remember, then it was stable. So this condition is done because actually the status, which is the variable of the first function, is stable. So this elif and this elif is not going to be done because it will be into this indentation and do whatever it is in here. And it says if the status is stable, then a stable count is going to be a stable count, plus 1. And we have here a stable count is equal to 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. And we will see the print later. For now, this is all we want to know. We already covered the first dictionary. We are not gonna do all of them because it's basically the same. Let's do just one more, and then we can just read the rest of them. Okay. So let's do the second one again. So we have another example here. Okay, we can do maybe 3 or 4, but not of them. They're too many. And if I do all of them, the video is gonna be really long for just something that is already understandable just by getting 2 of them or 3 maximum. Okay, let's do the second one. The second one, we have name battery, the value 18, the unit percentage, and the type battery. Okay, Again, for the enumeration, whatever number it is, we already said that enumerate, how it works is that it was always start the counting, in this case starting with 1, it's gonna be in the first position always. We will see that later when we do the printing. But anyways, if in the second position here, but we put the number to make sense on the first position, because this is how enumerate works. This is something that we have just to learn it that way. Enumerate always work like that. You have to put the let's say the argument is not really a function, but let's say the thing that you want to iterate with on the first position, and then the enumerate in the second position, but the enumerate we put to the first one. That's why we put number and then the current iteration in this list in the position. Okay, name, exactly the same. In the variable name, I want to store it in the currently iteration. In this case, it's the second one, the second dictionary now, which is the second one, the value of name. The value of name now is battery 2. Okay, and now it says for value, in the variable value, I want to store it the currently iteration, the value of value, and the value is 18. Okay, for unit we'll do the same. In the variable unit, I want in the currently iteration to give me the value of unit. The value of unit is percentage. Okay, now in system type, in this variable, I want to store it in the currently iteration the value of type. The value of type is also battery. Okay, this is done. This is already saved in here. So now with this variables already done, we can do the functions. And for the first function status, which is gonna be storage in the variable status, I want this function system type and value. Okay, the system type is the value of type. The value of type in the second one is battery. Okay, so we already have battery, and the value is gonna be the value of value, and in this case is 18. So we have battery and 18. So now we can go battery and 18. We can go back to the first one. What it will do? Okay, if value equal to none, our value is 18. So this is not gonna be done. Jump in here. If system type equal to battery, our system type is equal to battery. If we come here and we check system type, is gonna be the value of type. The value of type is key type value battery. So this is done. System type equal to battery, and the value is less than 20. Our value was 18, which is less than 20. So in this case, it will just go to this indentation and return warning, and all these conditions are not going to be done because this one is the one that is done. So we already got this one, which is warning. So the status will return warning. Let's go to the second one, the second function. The second function says display value is gonna be value and unit as an argument for the parameter. Which is value? Value, we already say that the value of value was 18, and the unit what percentage, right? The value of unit is here. Unit, current iteration, value of unit. The unit is percentage. So we have 18%. Okay, what can we do with that? If value is equal to true, no, the value was 18. If value equal to false, no, value is 18. If elif value is equal to none, still no, value is 18. Then none of this condition is going to be done, and it will go to the else, and then it will return the same as before. It will convert the value, which is an integer, into string, and then we'll concatenate the unit, which is another string, so it will be 18%. Okay, and it will do the same one with this one. With this one, you can see here, you can pause the video, you can read them all. Motion sensors, value, none, unit, all of them. Sweet temperature, name sweet temperature, value 43, unit is grades, types temperature, name oxygen level, value 96, unit percentage, type oxygen. And you see, this is not still like real data, this is just random data that we put into it just to start to learning how this is, how is the process of that. Okay, of course this we didn't show in the second one, right? The second one, we finished in here, and we said that it will be like 18 and percentage, these ones, and we said that it was warning, right? Because it was battery. If it was equal to battery and the value less than 20, then return warning. So we didn't finish with the second one. We forgot this part. If status is equal to stable, this condition is not going to be done, so it's going to jump to the elif. If status is equal to warning A, it was equal to warning in the first condition, so warning count is equal to warning count plus 1. So in this case, it will add 1 in here. Okay, we can keep doing everything. 108. Okay, we have the whole 118 lines, the whole program now. What this print will do? This print is a format print, and it will print number. We have this string with square brackets in here. These square brackets, it can be a bit confused, but remember, it's a format and everything is inside of the strings. So these lines that you see in here, this one, this line, and these square brackets in blue, is just to give sense to the phrase. So this one could be the same as this one, and nothing will happen. This is just whatever I want to add. This is text in string. It will be printed just as it is. We can see that later too. So just be focused on the number inside of the curly braces. Number is this one, right? Which is just the enumeration, right? Then we have name. Name is this variable, which is the value of name. So I want to print the number, which is the currently enumerate. I want the value of name, and then I want displayed value, which displayed value is the function, the result of this function. And then I also want to print status, which is the result of this function, right? So it will print this, and then here we say print also now an empty space. Then give me this string and this string. This is only strings, just to give more, like, to arrange the console, to make it like better looking. And then we have the printer that we already say. This is just the counters. If the condition is done in here, add 1 to this counter, this condition will add 1 to this counter, and this condition, whatever is the data in the dictionary, if all the data in the dictionary will be equal to critical, and then critical will be +1. Just simple, right? And then it say, if critical count is greater than 0, then this one will be done, should not ready for field test. But what will happen, for example, there is 1 in count and 1 in, do we have stable? We have final status and 1 in count, critical count and 1 in count. We don't even have stable. Yeah, okay, so let's say that there is 1 in critical. Whatever is in 1 in count is not going to be printed. Only for this one or this one to be printed, the condition on top has to be false. If the condition on top is true, all the conditions, then it's gonna be like Python will not interpret them. And then we want here to print final decision and final status. Where is final status? Final status, okay, it's gonna be the variable of this string, wherever this condition is done or this condition is done, and this is just a string. Are we ready to print this? Something else that we want to see here. Double check. I think everything is explained, right? Just a quick look. We have just one function and the second function. We have created a list of dictionaries, 3 counters. Some just print in the middle to give like a better look at the console. We have a for loop which will iterate for every single dictionary give us the values in here, the results, and then depending of the storage of these values, then it will be the arguments of the parameters for the two functions that we just put it on top. And after having the result of those two functions on top, then we proceed with this one, which is if status is stable, just print this, if it's going to print this. So it will be just basically adding to the counters according to the results of the functions. And then we have the print. In here we just printed the number, which is that's the reason for enumerate. We just want to print this one, which is gonna give us the order. Then we just print the name, which is gonna be the value of name, which is in here. Display value instead, which is the two functions. We will return whatever we did in the functions. That's why we put the return on the functions, right? That's why this return, whatever is in this return here or in here, this return or this return, that's what it will print in here, the return of those functions. Then more prints, just to keep throwing things to the console. Empty line, the string, these strings, and the counters. Okay, and now depending of the counters, one of these conditions will be done. Let's print. Let's see if we can just print it straight, if I can open the console. Okay, I'm gonna print the whole code. What we got? We got Jarvis pre-flight suit diagnostic system. We got a print of string, a print of an empty line, and then booting system, checking reactor, checking helmet, checking sensors, checking safety protocol. This is what will appear on this on the other ends, on the screen of the other ends, right, on the console. So it seems like when you print this, and the customer on the other end, or the other person on the other end, will say like, hey, this is doing something, it's loading something, right? It's just a string, but it's loading something, right? This string is just, let me check if I can put this one more down. Here, it's okay. This is just this. You see? It's just this, it's just a string. All of this looks so cool, right? All of this is just string. I could put here, remember, right, this line. I can do this. It's not gonna look that cool, but hey, we have it here now. You see, this is the first print. It was in system diagnostic. What is this? The system diagnostic. This one. See, it looks good in here. Now in the last print, we did this. Doesn't look the same, it's cool, right? But just to let you know, this is just text in string. You can put whatever you want in here. What I did makes more sense, right? Let's be professionals now. System diagnostic port, and then we have this string. Yeah, and now we have this that will iterate, as I say, on the first position. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Why this is showing up in square brackets? Because of that. This is square brackets. That's why we put them. Let's say that instead of this square brackets, now I want to do also this. It doesn't look same as cool, right? But if I do this and I print it, you see, we got the same numbers, but now we got this in every single one. In the first dictionary, in the second dictionary, in the third dictionary, in the fourth, etc, etc. So those square brackets are there for better looking. If I print this back again, you can see it much better, right? We have here all the results of the name, which is the value of name, reactor core. Then we have the first return of the first function, which was 92%. Why was it 92%? Do you remember? It was stable. This one was stable, right? Because we have the name reactor, but the value was 92, which is not less than 60. None of these conditions were true, and it went to the stable. And because it went to the stable, in the second function it say, hey, If none of these conditions were done, because none of these conditions were done, then return whatever is in the value as a string. The value was 92, so now 92 was a string plus unit, so it was concatenated the string 92 plus percentage, it was 92% as a text. But in here it seems like a number, but it's not a number. This 9 and 2, this 92 is text. So 92% unstable, because the condition was stable. It did the same with all of them. Battery 18% warning. Helmet, camera on, unstable. Why on? Because the value in this case was equal to true, and if the value in this case is equal to true, return on. That's why I was just returning on in here instead of returning the 92. This condition went done. Because this condition is done, this one and this one and this one are not gonna get done. It's gonna just do the first one that is done and go. Helmet, microphone on, stable. Motion sensors, error, critical. Suit temperature 46 degrees, critical. Oxygen level 96% stable. Armor integrity 88% stable. Safety mode test stable. System summary. Let's keep going. Where is system summary? Here, just a string. System summary, another strings of just lines, and then we have the counters. This condition, we have stable system. Okay, stable system condition, which is this one, was 6 times. Warning system was 1 time. This is according to the dictionaries, right? We worked 9 dictionary. 6 plus 1 7 plus 2 9. So it was iterating on the 9 dictionaries. We got 1 warning system and we got 2 critical system. So the final decision, which is in here, after all this is done, final decision will be, in this case, should not ready for field test. Why it should not ready for field test is this one? Oh, because there was 1 critical in here. As you can see, there was 1 critical in here, and critical is the first condition in here. So because this one was done, this was not printed and this was not printed. But let's say that I want should ready with caution. In this case, we have to change the critical. Where I can change the critical? This is the counters. So if we want to modify this, we just modify the counter. Let's say critical here, I'm gonna put it in lower cases. Lower cases and upper cases are a completely different word for Python. So now this condition should not be done because critical doesn't exist on the counter right now. If we print, now the final decision is should ready with caution, which is this one. Why? Because we have no critical. Now the first condition to be done, because this one was not done, it jumped to this one, which is should not ready. You see here, this is the first one. Here, should not ready for field test, because critical was working. We changed the critical word, so critical word now was not working, and now it should ready with caution. Okay, we took critical out in here, which we put it in lower cases. Can we take also down the warning? Where is warning in the counter? Warning. Let's take warning out too. So now only stable will be done, and we print it, and now we have should ready, because we have 0 warnings and 0 critical on the stable system. So now should is ready. This is not that I'm canceling. This is just it will be like Python cannot interpret, because we don't have nothing called warning into strings with lower cases, right? This is a completely different word, lower cases and upper cases. That's why in this case we cancel those two, and now only stable is done. I think we covered in this project mostly everything that we have learned on the previously videos. So yes, I'm happy to jump to the next material. I want to keep going. Let's carry on with the progress.